I'm Claire. Tonight I want to talk to you about the menopause. It's a medical condition that will affect 50% of the world's population at some point in their life. And it's costing businesses money.
Do I feel different sometimes? Yeah. Is it just because I'm having a bad day?
I had quite a lot of anxious moments.
But when it's happening night after night and you're knackered, it's a real problem.
I thought I'd got dementia. I kept forgetting things and it really made me feel desperate. So as you can see, this is a very personal pitch. I started getting symptoms. I was sleepless at night, I was anxious, and I was incredibly forgetful. And I had no understanding why that might be. And as you can see, I'm not alone. So to understand a little bit more about it, we issued a questionnaire, and we had the most amazing response in under 12 hours. Over 200 women, and right across the UK, into the States, and I think into New Zealand. We found our findings were very much reinforced our thinking. There's a lack of information, a lack of knowledge, and talking about the menopause is still a taboo in the workplace. So our solution, an early warning system. We want to help women get the treatment they need when they need it. So how will it work? Our idea is to take data from smartwatches, data that is already being created and collected, and use that data such as sleep patterns, anxiety levels, and temperature, and use this with a known medical model to provide data analysis on the user as to where they are on the road to the menopause. And because it's an early warning system, we need to get in before users are aware. So we want to do this in partnership with businesses, so that businesses can help us get it out to their employers. Because menopausal women are the fastest growing demographic in the workplace. So the benefits. Obviously for the user, understanding where they are in the fertility life cycle is important, and being able to be pointed to relevant information to that stage, as well as potential treatments, will enable them to get the help that they need when they need it. And the benefit means, and they will then be able to improve their performance, have a happier home life, and excel in the workplace. And on top of that, they will have better outcomes in terms of health through their later life. So why would businesses be interested? Well, 1 in 4 have such debilitating symptoms that they take over a month out of work each year for the due course of the menopause. And worse still, 1 in 10 women are quitting work. And this cost is huge for business in terms of lost productivity, recruitment and training. So how will we build our model? We want, the initial stage will be the setup, using the medically validated straw model, together with data from the smartwatches. We will be able to start developing the analytics, and excitingly, the data collection will enable us to improve the quality of the predictions we're giving. And in time, we'll be able to roll out those predictions and really improve the recommendations we're giving in terms of the treatment, in terms of the signposting to treatment. So in terms of generating revenues, we want doing it in partnership with companies. We are going to create an annual license fee to subscribe to the platform, and then a per user subscription of just £2.50 per user per month. In addition, we will have affiliate commissions through in-app sales. Now we think this is going to cost us around £300,000 in the first 3 years to develop the idea. And we know that they're...
That was an excellent presentation. Thank you very much. Really interesting. I was just interested in exploring a little bit further with you the employer proposition. So clearly for them it's a sort of fairly small-ish number of their employees. And they might be using other sort of health platforms and tools. So had you considered what else they might be using and how yours sits alongside a sort of broader offering in this sort of health and wellbeing space?
Yes, well certainly, and to be honest, it could be a huge proportion of the workforce, depending on the industry you're talking about, whether it's healthcare, whether it's education. So it could be a huge part of the workforce. In terms of, we've done investigation into health and well-being, and from that is why we've pitched the price the cost we have, because that seems to be a very reasonable price, and given the cost benefit of keeping women in work throughout the menopause, the cost is minimal.
Okay, great. And then from the women's perspective, the ones that sort of are tracking themselves, there's obviously quite a few other tracking apps out there. Have you thought of fertility apps, for example, as well? Have you thought about, again, how this might integrate and sort of work with other apps that women might be using?
Okay, so at this stage we believe that there's a real gap for this perimenopause symptom tracking, because there are apps out there that do the fertility, that also do tracking, personal tracking of the menopause, you know, once you know that you've got those symptoms. But there isn't, there aren't apps out there that actually do the research, do the analytics and come up with the prompts, and that's where our USP really is.
Okay, then my final question is just around the privacy and sort of how you encourage women to sort of think about these things with their employer, because you said it's a sort of taboo subject still, which it shouldn't be, but perhaps it is.
How do you
overcome that?
It will be a very personal experience. You will download the app. In downloading the app, you are agreeing to share your anonymised data so that we can build our model. But the employer will not have any access to that. Sorry, could you just repeat have I got to the...
I think you have to pretty much answer it. It's just that privacy sort of thinking that your employer might see personal data about you. Yeah.
So very definitely, we will have a button within the app to take the user off to the employer's website, or potentially within a site that we develop, so that they can share. The employer can share specific information about the treatments, about the adaptations they already have in place. But we felt it was very important that it was outside of the app. We didn't want to share that. But also, just in terms of the taboo, we do feel that a community aspect within the app, enabling employees to share ideas and discuss issues around it, will also be important.